You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters. Well, we are going to talk about a player, an athlete that I believe could end up being not only the second most popular player on the Indiana Fever behind only Caitlin Clark, but I think there is a chance that Sophie Cunningham is the number 2 athlete in the WNBA from a popularity standpoint by the end of this season with the Fever. Now, Caitlin Clark made some comments the other day about goons or enforcers in the WNBA. And we know in the NBA and in hockey, they've got these players that are there solely to take a step in front of the superstar player when the bullies come calling. All right? And Lord knows Caitlin Clark had a hell of a lot of bullies coming after her last year. Well, they will not like what Sophie Cunningham has got to say. But before we jump into that, let's jump to these bikini snaps first. Now, you may be like, well, Rhodes, you like to come down on Angel Reese when she is showing skin. Well, wait a minute. Look, I'm sorry, right, wrong, or indifferent, but society says wearing bikinis is socially acceptable. Doing actual, real, tasteful model shoots is socially acceptable. Taking pictures in your underwear, that's sort of a different story, generally speaking. Okay, or getting on some stage at some rap concert and shaking your ass, it's not the same. I will never look at it the same. Sorry, not sorry. I'm not going to apologize for that. I don't give a rat's. I do look at it differently. And I think Sophie Cunningham is about to burn up the WNBA in popularity. And there she is right here. These are new snapshots that have went up on her Instagram posing. It looks like, I can't see. I'm trying to see. It looks like a sponsored model shoot. I love the cowboy hat. I mean, that she did the stuff for Chevy and that Chevy truck. I didn't mean to click that. There we go. A while back. And I thought it was tastefully done. I think this being a beach where you expect somebody to see somebody in a bikini, I just don't have any issues with that. So let me see. Flaunting her incredible figure, the WNBA guard wore a $90 Cala Roja top from Monday Swimwear. So I guess she was there promoting some kind of swimwear. That's just my guess. All right, but there was a lot of reaction to that. She did say, quote, "Work hard, beach harder," tagging the swimsuit brand right there. That's what she said. So there was a lot of comments in her Instagram feed, positive comments, stunner. This woman's sexy as hell. Wow, absolute goddess. Legit perfection. So incredibly sexy. Wifey, no doubt. Such a babe. So a lot of fans absolutely were down. The WNBA Barbie. There it is. Yeah, what do they call her? MAGA Barbie? Isn't that a thing? Sophie, the Fever Barbie. So a lot of fans, Indiana looks lit. Yeah, this person says, ma'am, you're the sole reason I'm interested in the Indiana Fever now. Make no mistake, this woman is bringing actual interest to the WNBA as well. So let's get over to these comments because her haters, and I'm talking about Caitlin Clark's haters, they're not going to like to hear this. In the 2024, the WNBA generated $200 million in enhanced ratings and exposure and helped the league land an 11-year, $2.2 billion media rights deal with Disney, Amazon, and NBC Universal. Across ESPN platforms, viewership was up 170% compared to the previous year as Caitlin Clark's stardom followed her into the WNBA. Let's see. It just wasn't Clark that was of interest. Here we go. Angel Reese, Cameron Brent, Camila Cardoso, and Aaliyah Edwards were also under the spotlight. It's been speculated that some WNBA veterans may envy the new generation of stars during a transitional period in women's sports, but the new Indiana Fever guard, Sophie Cunningham, has called out potential haters. While the WNBA is a grossing league that was climbing before Clark and Reese entered as major stars, TV ratings and attendance figures don't lie. ESPN's broadcast the most watched WNBA game of the regular season in 2024, which was Clark's Fever facing Reese's Chicago Sky. It averaged 2.3 million viewers. Clark and Reese may be on rookie contracts, but both earn the average of $80,000 per year. But their popularity has led to huge endorsement and sponsorship deals off the court. While this isn't uncommon for WNBA stars, Sportico reported that Clark earned $11 million in 2024 through NIL and her professional brand partnerships. With each passing year, the WNBA is improving for each rookie class and financial incentives. So let me go down here. For Cunningham, who is set to play with Caitlin Clark next season, she believes that anyone expressing negativity towards her or the other stars can't be in the WNBA for the right reasons. In an interview with Mirror US Sports during a watch party for March Madness with Quest Nutrition, Cunningham said, quote, I think maybe at first people were not understanding why we were getting the attention or the money. But for me, I'm like, heck yeah. Like, this is what we've always wanted. They've had trailblazers before them, and I think they've given them their flowers. Well, that's interesting. And they paid their respects because they're the only here because of them. Again, this is what we've always wanted. We wanted this attention, this platform, and now this rookie class, because of the amount of eyes, especially the college game has, and has brought into the W. I just think that if you're some kind of hater or you're jealous that you're not in it for the right reason and you're actually not you're not actually empowering these young athletes and women in sport. For me, I think it's been awesome. I think the more the merrier. I think if they're winning, we're all winning. At the end of the day, you're playing basketball for a living, and you can't be that ungrateful. And I think that's interesting because I think that's one of the reasons you saw so many of these players that, look, weren't supposed to want to play with Caitlin Clark come to the Indiana Fever because they know the amount of eyes on them is fixing to be something they're not used to. But because of that, Sophie included, they can see the forest for the trees. All right? No need to get mad or whatever. We're all fixing to win from this. The media rights deal is going to make salaries go up. All right? Are they fixing to be making $3 million a year? No. But instead of $80,000, they're going to be making more like $250,000, $300,000, something like that. Maybe some people will actually make $500,000 a year. That's a big, big salary raise for a lot of these players. The other thing is, I think it's very interesting that she said jealous or haters. She's not blind. She saw what happened last year. Point blank. I mean, Cece got the crap beat out of her all year long from various players. Unfortunately, one of them was a rookie. It makes no sense. I mean, do you want to grow this supposed league or not? Now, if you see the old WNBA fans and the legacy media, I mean, they would have been fine with not growing the sport to keep guys like me from watching. I kid you not. Oh, we want to grow, but only a certain way. Well, no, that's not how it works, and we, in fact, outnumber you now, so stay mad. I mean, that's just all there is to it. But she gets it. She completely gets it. And I think you're seeing, you notice she's come up in more and more things lately, talking about Sophie Cunningham. That's a byproduct of what's fixing to go down. The Indiana Fever is fixing to be women's sports America's team. It's not just basketball, it's women's sports. They're going to be the face of it. And we're all witness. Tell me what you think. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.